It's a people, it's a community, it's a life, it's a heart, it's a spirit.
Parents of gay children say, I want my son, my gay son, to have the same opportunity to come to me and say, hey, Dad, I'm getting married, as my non-gay son or my non-gay daughter.
The heck would you want a picture of a tattoo of $1,000 on your penis for?
You might just need to satisfy yourself sexually alone at that point.
Do I regret it? Not one bit. Did I think that I would actually take it the next step and do it again? You know.
And what goes into their life, how they handle it. There are 12 houses, and each one of those houses has a particular function.
Look into yourself, think about it, and just be whoever it is that speaks to you.
Hello, and welcome to a special internet edition of Talking About. We're podcasting this on Google Video and on IG.tv. I'm Jon Griffith, your host. My guest for this segment is Charles Casillo, author extraordinaire.
Oh, thank you.
And we're talking pretty much about your book, The Fame Game, which is a book about...
Fame. It's a satire on fame today. The bigger picture is that it satirizes what makes people famous today as opposed to generations ago when people wanted to be successful for accomplishment, for doing great work. Mm-hmm. And today it's more about just becoming famous for the sake of it, for having a gimmick or a hook or doing something ridiculous that'll get your name in the paper and then hopefully snowballing it into a brand name.
Right.
That's what I was interested in.
So in conjunction with that, I'm about to enter rehab.
Well, that'll be good publicity for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing, you know, doing things like that and the public's fascination with that kind of stuff. As opposed to, you know, a really great new Beatles song or a Picasso painting or a new film by Marilyn Monroe, which in the old days we always had idols and icons and people that we worshiped, but they actually did things. Right. As opposed to today, you know, despicable behavior is pretty much what we worship and what we reward more so. And in writing The Fame Game, I went through phases of different kinds of feelings towards it. First it was curiosity. And then it was more of a fascination of, you know, look what we're doing. Look what our generation is doing. Look what we're rewarding. Then it was pretty much where I am now. It's, well, no, I think I reached a point of disgust about a year ago while I was publicizing the hardback version. I was really disgusted with what we were elevating to icon status. And now I think I'm more apathetic, and I think that eventually the public is going to get tired of it, as tired of it as I am. And the pendulum will swing back to the direction of recognizing talent and accomplishment. But the book itself talks about these themes, but not in a way where I preach or denounce it. I mean, it's just, it's there as an underlying theme, but I follow characters pretty much that are of the moment, of the time we're living in, who want to be famous because although they might be talented or they might be good people or they might be interesting people, they don't feel that they can be validated until the media validates them or they have some sort of fan base. And I think that that kind of mirrors a lot of people today. You know, they don't feel that what they're doing is relevant until they have a fan base of people telling them that it is. There's no self-worth.
Well, the book follows pretty much 3 central characters, and just an overview of who those characters are.
It's a male prostitute, which I used as a metaphor of selling yourself because he actually does have some sort of talent, and he's trying to make it, but because of his background, he's having a lot of difficulty in getting his work seen by the right people. There's also a female model who wants to be an actress who's very beautiful and talented from the inner city who also doesn't have anyone who could help her, or people have a tendency to use her for her beauty and her sex appeal. And these 2 people are worthy of fame, and they can't get anywhere. And then in juxtaposition of them, there's a famous director's daughter who has no talent, has no charisma, and has nothing to offer, but she can pick up the phone, make a phone call, and have people at her feet and have a project greenlighted in a moment just because of her name. So these 3 characters meet at a crucial point in their development, and they all want what the other has. One has beauty that the other envies. One has connections that the other wants. one has talent that the other sees as a vehicle. So they all start using each other as a stepping stone to get to the next level of fame, befriending each other but also deceiving each other, which is something that I've seen a lot in the fields. I mean, there's a lot of jealousy and a lot of competition. I think that we're all ambitious, but I don't think that we have to be so backstabbing and deceptive.
Well, you personally have worked in and around the business for a while.
Yeah, I started out as a model early in my career, and then I became an actor, and then an entertainment journalist. So I've been around these kind of people, and I've seen it. And I just think that there's so many people calling themselves these things that rather than go the traditional routes of creating a great work and then hoping that it'll be recognized by a talented person who could recognize, that's a whole nother level. I mean, trying to get it into the hands of someone who could recognize it is a whole nother obstacle. But more than that, you know, people don't want to wait and go those traditional routes, and they just start leapfrogging over each other and stepping on each other and using each other and sucking the life force out of each other in order to get themselves recognized.
So, and you know, it is quite a page turner. I mean, you know, a week prior to this taping, I was on vacation. And, you know, I brought the book with me. Okay, I'm going to read it for the show. I picked it up and I read it in a day. I just page.
Oh, that makes me feel good.
Right through it. So, yeah, enjoyed it a great deal.
Oh, thank you for that, because that's, you know, while I wanted to get my point across, I also wanted to be entertaining. I think that's, you know, the main focus of any writer. So, yeah, I wanted, so that makes me feel really good to hear that you felt that way about it.
Okay, and do you have any you know, anything in the works is what I'm trying to say. My brain just
well,
got
you know,
stuck.
I always have things in the works. I'm editing a short film. I mean, a feature film that I wrote,
Okay.
and I'm working on a new book, which is in the really early stages of it. And you know, I spend a lot of time on my webpage and answering and being part of the world. I think that.
And the webpage is?
It's on MySpace. It's Charles Casillo.
Okay.
At MySpace.
So if you just search through MySpace for Charles Casillo,
yeah,
spelled
Casillo.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope people find me. I find that it's a great way of meeting people that you wouldn't normally come in contact with during the normal course of your life.
Okay. And I do want to thank you for doing this. The book, The Fame Game, is available pretty much in stores everywhere.
Yes.
If you don't see it on the shelf, just ask for it, and you know, stores are pretty good about that. Amazon, internet, through your MySpace. Your MySpace has a link to where people can find the book?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So, very much a worthy read. And yeah, I enjoyed it a great deal. Pick it up. Seriously.
Who needs more of an endorsement than that?
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
And I want to thank you for watching. You know, this is the first of many web-specific shows that we're going to be doing. We do have some full-length stuff online, but www.talkingabout.info, MySpace/talkingabout, IG.tv. Welcome to my family. Thank you for joining me. I'm Jon Griffith. I will see you next time, hopefully very soon.